G'day and welcome to the Supercoach Playbook NBA podcast. Number 2, mate. And on my right side here, Alex Sumsky. How are you, brother?
I'm very good. I'm looking forward to the season. It's only a couple of days away. Still been enjoying the pre-season games every day, so pretty keen.
It's going to be good, isn't it? We won't keep people waiting because they want to hear what we've got to talk about. But before we do, Supercoach Playbook, SC Playbook, I should say, Unlimited League. Take on the SC Playbook team for a chance at $1,000 in cash. We're giving away $1,000 to the top-ranked subscriber that can knock us all off, which will be hard because I think me and you are going to be 1-2, mate, but we'll see. If a non-subscriber wins, it's $500 to the winner and $500 to the top-ranked subscriber. And the league code for those looking to join, which includes me, I need to do that, is 142510, the league code there. And we'll say that again in our next podcast. We got this one and another one before the season itself kicks off. Sumsky, SC Playbook NBA, what's in store for the season, mate?
Everything you've come to expect at SC Playbook across our NRL, cricket, EPL, NFL networks. You've got the weekly podcasts recorded from Bloke Studios. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Team of contributors producing tons of articles on our website throughout the preseason and every round of the season. You'll find it all across our social channels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at SC Playbook NBA. So jump across and give us a follow. We'll also have all the subscription content as per the other sports, including our exclusive WhatsApp chat. I need to join that with contributor-only groups, community trade chat, late mail, and team news, stacks more, just everything you need. It'll cost you less than $2 per week and gets you access to our entire network of sports. To subscribe, head to scplaybook.com.au and find the option in the menu.
Very good stuff, mate. Yeah, $2 a week. Excellent value, I like to think. And we'll be ramping up that WhatsApp chat a little bit as we get closer to the season, which is getting very close now, mate. As we said last week, I think we just wanted to get some pre-season out of the way first, see who was looking good, see who was actually playing and healthy. But it's really starting properly next week. So topic 1 for tonight, before we get into my team reveal as it stands right now.
Yes.
But before we do topic 1, the question is, who has added value early in the season due to their schedule? We spoke last week a lot about in NBA, and if you didn't get a chance to listen, each team will have a set amount of games per week. Often that can be upwards of 4. You can get more on the odd occasion, but 4 is like a good max week. If you have a player from that team and they play all 4 games, you score from 4 games. So that just maximises opportunity, whereas other teams might have 2 and 3 games. And what we're going to do is have a look across the early season schedule and have a look at sort of just the teams. Like if you're listening now and you might not be entirely across it, if you can pick some players from these teams, you know you're going to maximise games in the early season.
Nice.
Which is mathematically just puts you in a good spot already. And next week we will talk about players to avoid from teams with the worst schedules. So that's going to be important as well, because I did an article which will go live pretty shortly, but it's all around that, building your team around schedule, value, and some other things. But have a read if you get a chance. But for now, mate, the teams with the best schedule, in my eyes anyway, number 1, it's not necessarily in order, but there's 4 teams who I really like, is the Atlanta Hawks. Excellent opening. I've just come across here. Atlanta, they play 3 games week 1, which is the max out of any side. It's either 3 or 2 for week 1. Then they go 4, 3, 4, and 4. Which means they basically have max games for 4 out of the first 5 weeks, which is massive. So I can tell you, and we'll get to it next week, as I mentioned, there's some other sides that have far less than that. So maximum points available on offer there. The interesting thing about Atlanta, though, is I don't know how many players are actually viable. So we'll just drop a couple of players just to help, and you can give a few little thoughts on them. Firstly is my boy Jalen Johnson, who I love. Coming back from injury, though, tore, I think it was a rotator cuff or something last year. Definitely wasn't ideal because I was relying on him in many a format. But he's back now. Thoughts on Jalen Johnson?
Look, love him. Think he's a great pick. I think he... Even from what we've seen in the preseason so far, I mean, he just continues to show that he's like an all-star level talent. Whether he makes that leap, it's not 100% clear yet. But just like the amount of pressure he can apply on defense, his versatility, everything I've seen from him, I just feel like this could. I don't know about a breakout season necessarily, if he's like one of the ones that you want to put at the top of the list. But when you combine the potential upside with that favourable schedule, I mean, he's just such a good pick.
Mate, he's outstanding. He'd be nearly my favourite player in the whole competition.
Wow. That's huge, Raps. I mean, look,
Yep.
I can understand it. He is exciting.
Yep. I wouldn't say he's my favourite, but he's up there and he's edging. Speaking of breakouts, maybe he gets there by end of season, which makes it very hard not to start with him with that schedule early. I actually don't have him on my side at the moment because I'm about $1 million short, but we'll see what we can do in the next week.
Yeah.
The other one, and I'll mention him, is Trae Young. And what I think is an important point around Trae Young, the way points are scored, and we spoke about it last week, you lose points for missed shots and turnovers. Now, Trae Young, they're his two worst assets.
Yes.
Basically. So it could be a week where, you know what, they have their weeks, right? NBA shooters, they go on runs. That's just how it tends to go. If you pick up Trae for an important week and you're only looking to hold him short term, he could shoot terribly for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Probably won't be every game, but if he also turns it over a lot, which he's prone to doing, he might not score very well for you. Or if you catch him on a hot week, he could skyrocket you up the ranks. But there's a lot of risk and a lot of reward, but there is some downside in Trae just due to that variance.
I think we talked about it last week as well about, in terms of talent, I mean, he's up there, he's a 1A and 1B on the Lucasphere. But, the problem is he just never really got to get into that kind of stratosphere. He was just kind of a step behind from like the all-star talent perspective.
Yep.
But a 30 and 10 player on any given night, that the turnovers are going to let him down. His poor shooting can be, like you said, streaks that can go on for a little bit. He can have slumps, and that can erase a great deal of points. I don't know if I want to have. I mean, I'm higher on Jalen than I am Trae.
Yep.
From a value for money perspective. I think that there's some funky things going on with Trae at the moment. I don't know if you
saw the announcement today. What's that about?
Well, that little tweet, like
a little teaser.
Yeah. I don't know, and I always get worried when the second a player starts getting active on Twitter with cryptic messages.
Something's awry.
I am like, oh, okay, red flag number 1. I'm like starting to steer clear. And he says it's just business. When they start talking like that, I worry about trades. I worry about all sorts of things. And when their players are in that mindset, I'm like, I need my guys clear-headed.
Yep.
I need them, no clouded judgment, nothing. They just need to be playing out of their skin. I don't need any distractions that are going to lead to some of those slumps that, we're worried about in terms of, shaving off those points. So
yeah, on those opening weeks when you need them most, because it's different to like an NRL where you could pick a guy like Trae and hold him for the whole season or half the season, and it'll even out. The average will come, but NBA, you might be flipping Trae in a few weeks, and you need him scoring when you've got him. So I'm going to try avoid those variable type guys unless I think they're just on a hot run and I want to scoop them up.
I'm with you.
And just trust the process in terms of reliable dudes who are going to score well, and on a down day they still go okay with that upside because across the weeks that's going to add up. That consistency. Trae Young, interesting. Keep a watch on that one, eh? Number 2 is the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the first 3 weeks they have a good opening schedule, so it's a couple of guys that you might want to target early with a view to then sell on. Given it's only for 3 weeks early, you might not want to overload on them because you probably want to be trading them out after that. But in saying that, they still go, it's 3, 4, and 4 games for opening 3 weeks, which again, that's as good as it gets. Then it goes 3, 3, 4, 3, which is okay. It's not great. I'd be looking to sell them on if I own Memphis guys around round 4, unless they're just on the up and making cash. But in those initial stages, we've got Jaren Jackson Jr., who he's been busted as well. I don't know exactly where he's at in terms of tip-off, but be wary of that. We've got Santi Aldama, who... You got some thoughts on Aldama?
He's of the available options for Memphis, he's definitely one of my favorite. I don't have him in my team, but he was one I had my eye on for a while, in terms of sort of a value for money player. In the game, the preseason game just a couple of days ago, another double-double, 10 and 10, 4 assists, only played 22 minutes. I like the way that he's able to sort of fill the stat sheet. He's a great fantasy option more broadly, not talking just about Supercoach here, just across the board. So I really like him. I think if you can get him in your side, it's a good option.
Yeah, the other two are Ja Morant's. He's perennially injured. He
Yes.
just plays that way, so it tends to happen. But if he doesn't start the season, you could look at someone like a Scottie Pippen Jr. or a Ty Jerome. Scottie Pippen did some really good stuff for me last year.
Yep.
When given the opportunity in the role, he's massive. He
I
can
used
be
to
incredible.
love picking Ty Jerome up off the waiver wires as well. So both good options. Pippen
If he gets the
and
minutes, Ty Jerome, he can play.
He can do some stuff. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so keep an eye on those two. But if Ja Morant's playing, whilst you still could have them, I'm not saying don't, but if I'm going to put them in or one of them in, I'd want Ja Morant not to be playing, and I'd want to know he's out for a couple of weeks, which I don't think is guaranteed from everything I'm reading. Oklahoma City Thunder, they also have a cracking schedule, and where I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, I just think he's a must. I think he's a must, and you probably captain him a lot of that opening month because you just have those max game schedule. I'll jot the others, then we'll come back to SGA. But Jalen Williams of the good variety with an E, if healthy. He's got a issue with his hand at the moment, so keep an eye on that.
Yep.
Hartenstein, he's a good player. Chet Holmgren, we'll get your thoughts on him in a second. We both love him. And the other one putting up some numbers a little bit in preseason is Cason Wallace, who's been pretty good. I don't know about his role, but he's just a cheaper option that maybe you could plug in with the good schedule. I mean, we don't want to everyone just pick the same guys across the board. There's going to be one or two where you might just have a crack at. So maybe check out his numbers in his preseason if he interests you. And even on that first game, you can check out their starting lineup. Is he in it? Is he coming off the bench? We'll see. But SGA, you just gave me a bit of a look there. You're like, ooh, a must-have.
Well, it's tough, and we'll get to it. Like, obviously, we'll focus on your team this week. We can look at mine next week. Yep. But I know that when we did our first episode, I sort of said, like, obviously the numbers speak for themselves on SGA. He is incredibly talented from an MVP perspective. He's a 35-point average player. That gets padded out by him being one of the better defensive guards, if not the best defensive guard on both sides of the ball. I think that there's a good case to have him in your team. I did wonder about that. Where do you go from an MVP season, and off the back of a championship? You can be destined for a letdown at times, and it's so hard to kind of reach that peak again. So few players do it. I don't know if SGA can or can't. He's one of those ones where I've got him in my team, and then I've also got him in not in some of my versions of the team as well.
Sure.
So I'm torn. I think for the price. I did kind of think that price could come down a little bit, potentially to start the season. I'm not sure. Again, you're not making a mistake having him in your team. You're definitely not making a mistake captaining him. It's probably going to be a safe pick. I like him. I've got him in one version of my team, but then also he's one that I constantly substitute to get value elsewhere in other versions.
Very good. I think he's just too good not to keep on keeping on. I'm also not too worried. If he loses like 500K across the first month,
what does that matter?
He's still going to score for you and do the job. So that's where I just want to lock in captain reliable a lot of those weeks. When we get to week 3 and someone like Jokic has his 4 games, then you can look at it and go, do I need him? Obviously, you're probably going to want Jokic as captain then. But just a quick teaser. Today in preseason, he played 19 minutes against a full-strength Bucks. 19 minutes, so basically half a game. He had 23 points on 8 of 10 shooting. 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 steals and a block.
Well,
and that's why he's so good, because he rarely misses. His mid-range jumper, he just pulls up and gets it. So he's like the opposite to Trey in that that's not a knock on Trey. There's different players.
Yeah.
He picks his spots. He puts them home. He doesn't miss many and he doesn't turn it over much. You add the defensive stats. He's just a Supercoach monster. So I'm massive on him. And check out those other guys. We won't get into it now because we've got plenty to get through, but there's some other guys at OKC. I think they're going to be hot property to start the season. Get multiple guys in if you need to. And finally, the Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero, and Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner,
yep. Big fan of both of those guys. Get to my team shortly, but at least one of them I have in.
Yeah, nice. I
don't mind them.
I have tried a few different ways to fit Banchero into my team. I think he's a good option. I struggled financially.
Yep.
He was And everyone who plays Supercoach is going to know that there are some of those players that they financially never make sense, but you really wish you could get them in somehow, some way. And it's always some ridiculous thing, like they're always 400K out of reach or 500K out of reach or something.
And then you got to rejig your side. I'm like, I'm not rejigging my whole side for you, mate.
Exactly. So he's one of those fringe ones for me where you almost could, but you can't. That was what he was in all my versions of my team. But a great option. I try to make it fit.
My latest iteration has him in and 3 mil spare, and I'll tell you why shortly. Ooh. But before we do, topic 2 of the night, or the day, depending when you're listening. Who is underowned and why? I've listed 6. Look, there could be a lot. Mm-hmm. I didn't go through everyone in the bloody NBA because there's that many of them. It's not like NRL where I can go through every team list on a Tuesday. But I've named 6 who are all in my team, which suggests I think they're underowned. I'll give a comment, you give a comment, we'll see how we go here. But Cooper Flagg, we're not going to comment on the first 2. Cooper Flagg should be 100% owned. Okay. He's $5 million. You'd just be stupid not to have him, in my opinion.
I mean, he's the number 1 owned, to be fair. But yes.
That is. But everyone, if you're playing, you should have him. Even if you off him early for some reason, put him on your bench because he's going to make money. Ace Bailey, I think he should also be 100% owned because it's hard to get cheapies in this game. Like, there's not many reliable ones. Those 2 guys are going to get chances. They're going to score well. Flagg, I'll start on my side, definitely. Bailey, that's a decision then about whether he's actually in your starting side or your bench, but he should be in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Skipping to number 3, we don't need to talk about because we just spoke about him, but it's Shea, SGA. He's only at 22% owned. My note here is that's absurd. Okay. And the reason that would be is because people are seeing names like your Giannis, Jokic and all that, which totally makes sense. Mm-hmm. But
was SGA top 10 or was he out of the top 10? He was out of the top 10.
I reckon he's probably out of it. I don't have the top 10 in front of me, but
I think he was.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Get him MVP. In because you will reap the dividends early. And whilst the other guys may make a bit extra money early and whatnot and be very good players, they don't have the schedule that Shea has. So just get him in is my thoughts. Again, you don't have to. There's plenty of ways to skin a cat, but see how we go. Number 4, Derek White. Just hands on the ball this year, no Tatum. Huge usage. We know how good he is already, but with extra assists and scoring, his defensive stats, maybe he turns it over a bit more and he can be a little bit inefficient at times, but at his price, I just think with Boston's early schedule being okay, I think he's going to make money and score you points.
This will be the one to really see on the Derek White side. I mean, there was chat a couple of seasons ago about him potentially getting an all-star spot. It was never going to happen, but
he's such a good player.
He is very, very good. He has a chance this season, I think, to become the best shot blocking point guard of all time. He could pass up John Wall. So obviously exceptional.
I was about to blow up, and I realised Wade was a shooting guard. Carry on.
Yes, I've said that, said that intentionally because he's got ways to go for Wade and Michael Jordan, but
obviously, Jordan.
But he, I think it'll be interesting to see now with him previously being the beneficiary of the Celtics having so much talent on the floor at one time. Of all the people that needed to get kind of left a little bit more open and have less pressure, it was always Derek White, which provides opportunities to cook. Now, with injuries, lineups looking a little bit different, people kind of know his game a little bit more. Does he attract a little bit more attention, or are teams going to be more capable of sort of covering him? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to affect his numbers and how he plays, but still talented nevertheless.
I think his assists go up and his points go up from maybe a few more shots.
Yep.
And then I think he'll be in the game a little bit more. So I really like him. Quick fact for you, mate, while you're chatting. The top 4 blocking guards in our NBA history, so be shooting guard or point guard. Number 1. Who's number 1? I'm not expecting you to know.
For guards?
Just
guards?
Ever.
That would be...
This is totally impromptu, by the way. There's a reason I'm asking.
Well, I always thought it was Dwayne Wade.
Wade 3, Jordan 2.
Okay, I knew
there's nothing in it. There's we're talking millimeters. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander 4.
What? Really?
Yep.
I mean, is this blocks per game or total blocks?
Blocks per game.
Oh, sorry.
Yep,
okay, I was thinking total blocks.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Who's number 1?
Derek White.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's what I said. He's like, even from a totals perspective, I think he's going to pass up, if he gets a good season, and I think he passes a whole bunch of people up for number one spot.
Yeah, well, if you've looked at that, there's like Eddie Jones, T-Mac McGrady, Drew Holiday's not that far ahead. So
yeah,
he's on the way up, but I love that. I just clicked on it and I was like, oh, Wade and Jordan. Oh, Derek White.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just narrowly. So.
Yeah, he's there.
Go, mate. Peyton Pritchard, I've got in the same context. His usage will increase this year, so his value for me is unders.
Yep.
Boston have a 3-4-4 early schedule, so I'm just going to start with those two guys and just see how they're tracking. Nice. Worst case, they play okay. They're still going to score well with that schedule, and we could flip them or hold, seeing what happens. Number 6, I'm actually going to wait for my team reveal for him.
Okay.
Speaking of, should we get down to it?
Sure.
Spurs team reveal. What are we, 6 days out from the NBA season? I'll start up at my point guards. Can I clarify something?
Yes.
I don't know if you know this, but because I've only ever called SGA, how do you say his middle? His last name, Shea
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Gilgeous.
Yes.
Yep.
Alexander.
But that is SGA, people, and I think even the commentators probably say that.
SGA is just easier. Rolls off the tongue.
So we've got SGA, already spoke about him. He's in captain week 1 alongside Peyton Pritchard. He's at 10 million. Okay. So I just think with that early schedule, that 10 mil allows me to spend a little bit elsewhere. He's a good mid-ranger to hopefully score well and add some value. And I might be able to flip him for some price increase, maybe in week 4 or 5, whenever his schedule sort of flops and someone else comes good.
Yep.
Maybe a fallen bloke, we'll see. But
is this your starting team?
I'll just do starting team only. My bench is a little bit, we'll see what happens next week, so I don't worry too much about that.
All right.
Shooting guard, Derek White, for the exact same reasons we just discussed. Now, this name will test me. I think I know it. But my other shooting guard is Golden State's none other than Brandon Podziemski.
Good pick.
9 mil, just under 10 mil. We know what he can do. He went off in his last preseason game. Talk to me a bit about him, because from what I understand, his role is going to increase a little bit this year. He still has Butler. He still has Steph Curry. He's still got a few around him, Draymond Green, but he doesn't need to do a whole lot more to improve that average. And Golden State's one's really good as well. Let me just see that.
Yeah, what is
3-4-4-4. Did I leave them out of my top sides? I did. Their early season schedule, I think I did this because I was going to speak about Podziemski on the side, but Golden State are the other team that have a really, really good start. In fact, they might have the best opening schedule in the whole competition across the first 4 weeks. They do. They play absolute max games every week. So Golden State, that's why I have him in. And if you can add value and score well, that'd be great. The downside would be if he just sort of pods away, but even then with those games, he'll still score okay for me. But give me some thoughts around him, mate.
Look, the way I look at Golden State is, first of all, he had a bit of a precarious season last year where it looked like he was on the out, and then was he going to get traded? And then he, performed really well in some of that, back end of the season. He kind of turned a corner. He's been good in preseason.
Yep.
And I know that he's made a bunch of comments around he wants to basically play to try and get the keys of the city for Golden State.
Ooh, okay.
He thinks
with a view to the future, obviously.
A view to the future. Yeah. So how the rotation works, I don't know exactly, and that'll kind of become a little bit clearer as the season starts. But look, the reality is the starting lineup: Steph Curry, Moses Moody, Butler, Draymond, Al Horford. I mean, this is
that's an old roster.
Ancient, the oldest in the league by far.
There you go.
The average age is higher than most teams have almost ever had. Moses Moody, the exception there. But when you look at those 4 other guys, who any number of them are an injury risk on any given night.
Even Moody's currently got a calf issue.
That's right.
He's the young buck. I'm just having a look now. So Podziemski also covers in the depth chart, which I've mentioned. If you're ever in doubt, you can look up for in this case Golden State Warriors depth chart, and it just tells you where they sit in the order. This is impromptu. Could you explain a little bit about that? Because that's not an Australian thing. That's an American sport thing. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Just from your view.
Yeah, easy. I mean, for NBA, it's really simple. You've got your starting lineup, your first 5. your second unit, your third unit, fourth unit, and fifth unit.
Yep.
Now, your fifth unit are that's the end of the pine.
Yep.
So these are guys that are there to fill rosters, like open roster spots, but don't ever see
They're not playing.
floor.
Yep.
Same kind of goes for the fourth. It's really only the second and sometimes third string players that'll get a run. Your first and second are really the only ones that'll get a run in postseason because you keep a tighter lineup. But how it'll basically work is you've got the positions, and then it's a next man up mentality for each individual position. So on a depth chart, a player doesn't need to be relegated to a single position. They sit in any spot on the depth chart in any position where they could conceivably fill in if there was an injury or they needed to get substituted in or something happened. So you have your primary one, which is usually like the first one on the list, and then they've got a backup position. So Pods will, he's a combo guard. He'll be in at point guard, and he can also go in at shooting guard.
Yep. So he's on the second unit depth chart for point guard and shooting guard, which is huge because it shows his versatility, and he's not just someone who's locked in as a backup point guard to Steph, who will only play if Steph's off the court.
He
can jump around a little bit.
And then you've got other players who they can appear multiple times, but at different spots. So Kuminga, he's in the depth chart for the Warriors, small forward. He comes in as like the second string after Jimmy Butler, but then he would be in a power forward situation, the third string after Draymond, then Butler, then Kuminga.
Yeah, love it.
It's,
and you can do that for any side.
You can do that with any side.
And especially when I was getting in the NBA, and I still do it now. Early preseason, I'll just punch in and just see where my boys sit in the depth chart when I want them. It's huge.
It's the best thing. I wish NRL had something, or like other leagues, in particular in Australia, had that a little bit more.
It's pretty cool.
It's so good.
Easy for the fans. So they're my guards. Down to center, we have Giannis. I do like him. I was sort of toing and froing last week about whether I start him.
Mm-hmm.
From week 3, he's a no-brainer because he goes 4-4-3, 4-4, which is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. His first 2 weeks are 3 games and 3 games, which is okay. It's only one short of max. I think he's worth starting, saving a trade, and then you've got him for that hot run, plus scoring decently early. You spoke about last week, so we won't go back into it, but you had some minor concerns around where's his head out. There's trade. You like your boys with a clear headspace. So
a little bit, but I'm going to shock you when I do my team.
All right, I'm keen, but I'm going to back Giannis in, and even if he wants to trade, he probably wants to show how freaking good he still is,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, so maybe he plays even better. With that schedule, I'll lock him in, and he becomes a captaincy option with Shea from week 3.
Yep.
Jokic could come in by then, but those initial stages, I think he is just dynamite. And you could get someone like a Jokic for $5 million more. He plays like 2 or 3 more games over the opening 3 weeks, which is a lot of points. Jokic's is not good.
Wait, for Giannis plays 2 or 3 more. Did you then
over the first 2 weeks? I'll just do the first 2 weeks. He plays 2 extra games, 1 a week, which is a lot of points when you add it up for $5 million less.
Yeah, of course.
Small forwards, Bezelis from Chicago. So he's come in late today. He's in my Yahoo draft side.
Wow. What's he playing? How much?
$6 million.
That's pretty good.
So I think his value, he does have a 2-game schedule week 1.
Oh, 2 games.
But everyone else has 3.
Okay.
So I'm losing out week 1. Let's say he's averaging 15 points. I'm losing 15 points, but I'm saving a trade to set up for Chicago's 4-3-3-4 run. With a $6 million guy who could do some damage in that period and make some money. Because I think a lot of people are going to want to jump on him.
Smart.
If I've already got him there, it saves that trade. Saving trades this year in NBA is different to NRL. You can max trade each week. You get 3 a week, 4 with boosts, but you might want more than 3 trades or 4 trades on any given week. So if you can punch someone like a Giannis and Bezelis in now, then you can do whatever you want come week 3 with like your Jokic's and co. So that's where my head's at a little bit there. Cop the 15-point hit week 1 and let him fly after that.
How many trades, again, impromptu, but how many trades do we get for the whole year? I remember, because you don't want to be using all your trades every week, right? Or you run out.
So you can max trade every week 3. Bang, for the whole season.
Oh, for the whole season?
Yep. And the reason is because there's so many injuries and restings and load management and game schedule changes. like it works. I did it last year,
So
and
you
it
won't
works.
run out of trades.
You won't run out of trades, but a lot of weeks you go, oh, I wish I would have already had this guy because I also want him.
Great news.
Which is where I'm doing Bazelis. It's great for trade addicts
Very,
like
very good.
most of us.
Yes.
Because you just have a crack
I'm a
each
massive
week.
trade addict.
Yeah, love it. But I'm going to punch him in early. You also, the flex position, I'm assuming like the other ones, I will check this, but your lowest score will drop out each week. So maybe in that 2-game week, he drops out regardless.
Okay. Right.
Let me clarify that for podcast number 2. But, I mean, that's how it's set up. It's the same as NRL. Mm-hmm. Anyone with a flex, the lowest score drops out each week. So maybe it's him, and the 2-game week becomes irrelevant, and he's good to go.
But your flex position doesn't drop out. It's just the lowest score.
Lowest score across the whole squad.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
well, we'll get to my flex. He ain't dropping out unless there's an injury. Don't panic there.
Okay.
But I know there's a lot of confusion around that because it's all quite new.
Yeah.
And it's just translating over. So my other small forward, and I'm going cheap here, as my starters is Ace Bailey. I'm not super pumped about this, but he's got upside. Utah's schedule, I know it's going to be good because I wouldn't have him starting otherwise, but he has, no, he's got a 2-game week as well.
So, like, I wouldn't get too worried about it.
Yep.
Again, a cheapie, sure, maybe two for the first one, but I think, again, you're going to benefit from his production with how thin Utah are at the moment and the role he's going to play.
And then he goes 4-3-4.
Exactly.
So I've got him for those. And just purely mathematically, I could put another cheapie in who plays an extra game. It might be an extra 8 points. Like it's not going to be... That's different to a big dog. If you put like a Jokic in and Giannis has an extra game, that could be 40 points. So that's where you want to spend your trades in that, in my opinion. That's where the points are at. So, yeah, Ace Bailey and Bazelis, both 2-gamers week 1, but I'm going to reap the rewards, I reckon, come week 2 onwards. So that's where we're at the moment. Maybe I could play a bench guy if he's playing 3 games, if he looks okay. I've got a little bit of cash to play with and sit one of those for week 1. Power forwards, Paolo Banchero, he's in. I had Chet, and something is just, I don't know what it is. There's just something telling me I want Banchero because he's the main man at Orlando.
What was yes, that's true. What was the difference in price?
1 mil.
Only 1 mil.
How much?
For Banchero higher, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a tough one. I personally love Chet. I know we talked about him before as like ones to watch, and we didn't get to really chat about him, but you know, with Thunder's record and the role that I think Chet can play and will play, you know, I think he can rival. He's the only one that's going to sort of rival Wemby on the defensive side.
Yep.
I feel this could be the season he tries to make that leap to All-Star in the West, and so I do like him. But again, you know, I told you how I felt before about Banchero. He's one of those ones you want to, if you can make it work financially, he's worth having. Neither are bad options. I think, you know,
I'm torn. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
I would love them both with that early season schedule. My current squad layout, I can't make it happen. So it's all good. Cooper Flagg, other power forward starting, no dramas. Dallas Shirley, early season schedule is okay. In fact, specifically it is 3-3, then 4-4-4. 3-4. So there's heaps of games the first 8 weeks. I can just play him at power forward, and after week 8, he's going to be worth, hopefully, injuries being kind, a shitload of money, and I can then look to either keep him or sell him.
Nice.
Plug him in for now. So Cooper Flagg. And in my flex spot, none other than Luka Doncic.
Wow.
He's in at 19 mil. I think he's going to erupt. He's had a good off-season. He's healthy. LeBron's out for at least a month.
Yeah.
He could sit at varying stages throughout the year. Like he's 41. Luka's the man. So I don't see him going backwards. His average was well down last year compared to the previous season. Even a small increase is going to see points and value. Talk to me.
Look, I mean, I really went pretty in depth last week on my views on Luka.
Yep. You don't have to go through it all again, but just a brief.
But even you know, even what he's capable of to like start the season, I do think that having this full off season under his belt, how he was in Eurobasket, you know, coming into everything, I believe in what he's going to be able to do with the Lakers this year. I think he is going to be the beneficiary of LeBron having sort of, I imagine, injury concerns for the entire season. 28, 8-8 or 28-9-8 or whatever it was last year is a down year, I mean, please.
Yep,
what are we
he's going to be
talking about?
incredible. Mate, I think get him in.
Yeah.
There would be, you could do though. You could put a Shet in at $5 million less and upgrade somewhere else. That works. Absolutely, it does, because then you're scoring better through two players. But
with your team, I would say that's not the worst. Like with your composition, not the worst option.
Yep.
But with that said, I do feel like Luka right now at that price point, with LeBron being out for the first month of the season, he's the best value player almost in the entire NBA.
Yep, love it. Lakers early season schedule 3-4, 3-4, which is one game off max.
It's pretty good.
Across the first 4 weeks.
You take that.
I can tell if you don't start with Luka, if you don't get him in the first week or two, you won't own him till week 13 because their schedule goes to poo. There's 3-2 games. There's some 3 games. They've won 4-game week.
Yeah.
Across like 10 from week 5 onwards. So we're going to ride him for the first month, get that price up, probably jump off and come back in week 13 for a 5-game week. And then the run home is immaculate. So we'll ride him all season, I'd suggest. But
Nice.
I think it's now. Because there's that middle patch. We're going to have to sell him and you're not going to look to pick him up before that. So get him in my opinion. Mate, that's my side. That is my side at the moment.
Formidable.
Now, bring in Matty. It's not an NBA question. I want to know how long this podcast has gone for. 36. I reckon that might do us because we have another few things to record tonight.
We do.
But I'm going to hit you with one last question.
Yes.
Final discussion topic. And it's just a fun one. Who's your breakout player for the year? Now, let me clarify. Now, actually, I'm going to totally ask this again. Who do you think at the end of the season when we look back, not in game schedules and all that, across the whole season, you go, that was easily the MVP of Supercoach for their value, what they were worth to begin with, how they scored, who's going to win someone the Supercoach title? Do you want me to go first or you? Sorry, it's down to 2.
I'll tell you who I was thinking. And again, I'm prepared to die on this hill, but I said the same thing last week. I'm incredibly high on Wembanyama.
Yep.
I think Wemby is a must have in every team. I think for that price point, he is, when you consider the price and the fact that he's a 35 average, even, last year, albeit injury, I think he's going to have a better year. I think he's going to get more opportunities. And just from what I've seen in the preseason, let me tell you what his last 4 games have been in the preseason. Now, the guy has played 19 minutes, 20 minutes, lows of 16 minutes. He's barely like spending any time out there at all.
You can nearly double it. Not quite, but just
almost.
You can nearly double it minutes per game.
They've won every game, number one, so they're 4-0 so far. He went 9, 10, 7 and 3 into 10, 4, 5, 2, 1 into 22.7 rebounds, 3 assists, and then the last game he just played, which this is the most minutes he's played in the entire thing, 25 minutes. He had 27, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 3 steals. I mean, and he shot 70% from the field, 66% from 3, 100% from free throw. I mean, this is like, I just think he's obviously a unicorn. That's not really a hot take to say that, but I think if you don't have, we'll get to the end of the season and people that missed out on Wemby are going to be like, this guy has taken the leap to generational talent and player.
Great chat for second podcast, which will come out before season tip-off. We'll record before then. There's going to be a bit of Victor Wembanyama chat because it is that versus his schedule not being so good. Worlds collide. Supercoach versus talent generational. You know what we'll finish with here? His last 2 games, he played 41 minutes across 2 games. So let's just say it's a standard OT game. He would have had 49 points, 8 turnovers, admittedly. I flagged that last week. Ken turned it over. 3 steals, 1 block, remarkably. He was obviously just chilling out. 7 assists, 18 rebounds, 16 of 17 from the line, 3 triples, and 13 of 23 field goals. Like, that's in preseason, where obviously the defense isn't necessarily aiming up as much, but it shows what he's capable of. So
yeah, like he's cruising now, and then if you don't include the first 2 games, the games prior to that, he had 5 blocks over those 2 games. I just think the guy is just going to another level, and everything I've seen from the games in the preseason so far, he just looks like he's moving different. So I'm high on him.
fair enough, mate. I find it hard to disagree with that. I also love Jalen Johnson because he's a boss.
Of course, yes.
And some of those Boston products, just with the added opportunity, could be really handy as well. But the other one we spoke about him is Luka. So can't answer the same as you. I'll say Luka over Wemby for value and points for the year, but
that'd have been my other pick. So we're all on we're on the same page.
But yeah, Wemby really excites me. I'm just worried about that first 10-week schedule.
Yeah.
When do I get him in my side will be the whole question, the whole season. When is he coming in? That's going to be the big one.
I'm too worried about hefty price. I want him later. I understand that I take a schedule hit to begin with, but I'm too worried about a price increase, which I think he is.
I'm happy to wait, and if he's going generational early, I'll bring him in.
Okay.
Doesn't worry me. All right, thanks, guys and girls, and whoever's listening. It's been good. Podcast number 2, done and dusted. Got another one coming up shortly where we will do your team reveal and a few variations of what you're looking at.
Yes,
because
indeed.
it's hard.
Yes, it is.
A lot of us don't always have one team to start. Then you've got to whittle it down before tip-off next Wednesday, and we'll have a look at some avoids as well. But thanks for having us.